up YouTube? Welcome back to another video. So today's video I want to talk about fat loss plateaus. Seeing as a lot of people were starting their New Year's resolution with losing weight or trying to get rid of that Christmas weight over that binge eating period, this is going to be a very useful and helpful video for when we eventually get to that stage. Now, no matter who you are, whenever we hit a dieting phase, we are all going to be hit with this fat loss plateau. It's going to be a brick wall where we're no longer seeing any results. Everything's just hitting a plateau stage and it's at a sticking point and we just don't know how to get through it. So this video, I'm going to give you a few of my tips and protocols to look at to help you break through that fat loss plateau and without you stressing out and giving up on your program. First of all, the main protocols that we need to think about is cardio and calories. In order for us to lose weight, we need to decrease our calories to put our body into a calorie deficit, and we need to up our cardio so we're expending more energy. Now, before we even look at those protocols and touch them, there are actually other protocols that we can use to help break through a fat loss plateau. So let's touch on them first and then we can look at the cardio and calories. So the first protocol that we want to look at is still calories, but it's actually counting our calories. Now, before we even decrease our calories or whatnot, we need to know what we are actually consuming. So we need to track our calories as accurate as possible. Now, using the very popular app, MyFitnessPal, this is the way that you can track every single bit of food that you consume on a daily basis. So many people miss out so much stuff, and this is where they're going wrong, and they don't understand why they're not losing weight, because they're not getting an accurate reading on the calories they consume in a day-to-day basis. So some studies have even shown that some people are miscalculating their calories from 100 all the way up to 1,000 calories because they're not accurately counting every single calorie that they consume. Now, this means everything that goes into your mouth needs to be logged on your MyFitnessPal app. Everything is a calorie, whether it be if you go on a journey and you have some snacks with you, a packet of crisps, some fruit, nuts, these are all calories. If you go to a shop and sometimes they have that stall with a little bit of a taster where you can try some foods out for free, if you do that, that's still calories. If you go to the cinemas and you decide to have a black coffee but you put sugar in there, the sugars are still calories. All these calories will add up and you need to make sure you calculate them as accurate as possible to get the accurate reading that you need. Therefore, if you find out that you're going over your calorie deficit, you can start taking those things out and you'll be back in your deficit, and that could help you break through that plateau. So the next protocol that we can look at is moving more. Now, when I say moving more, I don't mean doing more cardio. I mean something called NEAT, in other words, NEAT, which stands for non-exercise activated thermogenesis. This is where we're doing activities that don't result into training or cardio. This means we could do anything from walking a dog up the park, playing with your kids in the back garden, doing some housework, putting the washing out on the line, washing your car, parking as far away as you can from the shops and walking there, walking to work. All these stuff require you to use more energy, burning more calories to help you get into that further deficit. And it actually is a lot easier for you because it makes you not think about it. You're doing something and you're being active at the same time. So you're washing the car, you don't tend to think this is a chore, I'm doing exercise, but you are. Or if you walk into work, the same thing. You're using energy up, but you're not thinking about it. So you're not thinking, oh, I've got to do an hour of cardio, or I've got to do an hour and a half of resistance training. It's a bit boring, it's a chore, I don't want to do that. You're doing activities that's going to require you to burn more energy. You're not thinking about it, you're just getting on with it, and it's going to help you with that fat loss plateau. So think about moving more. Now, another protocol to look at, and I actually talked about this the other day on my Instagram, so if you're not following me on there, I do give away free tips. The Instagram is just on the screen now, and also the link is in the description. But the other protocol to look at is supplements. Mainly things like BCAAs and L-glutamine. BCAAs and L-glutamine are an amino acid, which is also a protein. Now, for you guys that don't know, protein is 4 calories per 1 gram. So that means it's still calories. So if you're somebody who's consuming BCAAs all day long, I used to have clients who would consume anywhere from 80 to 100 grams of BCAAs every single day. They're drinking it from the minute they wake up to the minute they'll go to bed. Now, like I said, these are still amino acids, which is a protein which equals calories. If you're consuming so many BCAAs throughout the whole day, you're still consuming anywhere from 100 to even 400 calories a day. So make sure you limit the amount of BCAAs that you take and other supplements. L-glutamine is a non-essential amino acid, but it still is an amino acid and it still contains calories. So make sure that you are aware of the supplements that you are using. Some of these supplements out there, they do contain calories, and at the end of the day, all these calories will add up. For example, if you are someone who's using BCAAs throughout the whole day, you could be consuming anywhere from 100 to 400 additional calories into your diet. So make sure you keep that in check. Use them when they're necessary, meaning around your fasted cardio and your intra-workout. Other than that, you don't need to be using BCAAs at all. So the next protocol that we want to look at is cutting out the weekend binges. Now this isn't for everybody, but more so the beginners, because they're not aware of this and the impact that it has on your diet. Now I see so many people time after time where they go Monday to Friday working as hard as they can, sticking to their diet and their cardio and training, but then when the weekend comes, they throw everything out the window. So they're going out consuming alcohol, which is 7 calories per gram, or they go out and they go to restaurants or have a takeaway and they're not getting an accurate reading of the calories that they're consuming from that meal. Now again, so many people can make this mistake over and over again and they can't understand why they're not losing more weight. The same as the protocol number 1. If you're not getting an accurate reading with the calories that you consume over a weekly basis, this is what can set you back. This can not only stop you breaking through that fat loss plateau, but it can actually lead to you gaining more weight because you're not tracking your calories. And over that weekend, you're eating everything in sight and you actually go from maintenance to a surplus. So this is what's going to lead you to gaining more weight. So yes, at the same time, I want everybody to socialize on the weekend. We all want to have a life. I'm not saying that you can't do that. You can. But you need to take into consideration when you're going out on the town and having some alcohol, or if you're going to a restaurant, make sure that you get a good indication of how many calories that you are consuming. Now as for if you're going out for a meal in a restaurant or having a takeaway, try and opt for something that is a little bit more healthy. Or if you want completely, stay at home and have a home cooked meal. So something that's off your diet plan, you're in control of. So you get to choose what ingredients go into your meal and you can still have something that you really enjoy. So it could be a home cooked pizza, it could be a lasagna, it could be a spaghetti bolognese, anything like this is perfect for you to use because you're in control of what you put into the food. And at the same time, because you're at home, no doubt you'll have some scales and you can weigh out the food and get a control of the calories that you're consuming in that meal. So if you are one of these people that like to go out on the weekend, that's absolutely fine. But just remember to take into consideration the alcohol that you are consuming does contain calories, and the foods that you're consuming from either a restaurant or a takeaway are very high dense calories, so they will all add up. So after you've touched on all of those protocols and you're still not seeing any fat loss results, this is when we can then start looking at the cardio and calories. We can first of all look at our calories and start dropping some more calories from our diet. Now I would advise anywhere from 200 to 250 calories to start off with. Now that should hopefully help you break through that fat loss plateau. If you don't want to use that option and you're already in a very low calorie deficit, you can look at your cardio. So you can increase the cardio, obviously it's going to help you expend more energy, burn more calories. So for example, if you're someone who does 4 times a week at 30 minutes, you can do 4 times a week at 35 to 40 minutes. Or you could even increase it to 5 times a week at 30 minutes. Either way, you're doing more cardio, which is going to help you burn more calories. Now, before you've even touched or tweaked your cardio and calories, look at the protocols that I've given you in this video, and that should help you break through that plateau. If you're still not seeing any results and progress, then you can start tweaking your cardio and calories. And if you're still not seeing any progress, I would definitely suggest that you go and talk to either an online coach, a personal trainer, or someone who has a high experience with training and nutrition, and they should give you some safe tips and advice on what to do. If this video did help you out, please give it a big thumbs up for me. If you have any comments that you want to ask, leave them down below. I always make sure I reply to everybody. If you're new around here, don't forget to subscribe, and of course I will see you on that next video. As always, everyone, stay safe and make it happen. Peace.
You're chasing shadows, they're always